MK Ultra, how you doing? How am I coming in, JK Pioneer? The Silver Cooters, hello. Larry Summers and Lab 4. I'm just going over some news articles real quick. I'm also gonna be. I actually prepped a pork shoulder roast. I'm gonna be smoking that for about 6 to 8 hours tomorrow. Making some pulled pork sandwiches for dinner tomorrow night. JK Pioneer, audio is perfect. Thank you so much. I hope the lip sync issue is not as bad as it was last time. Lip sync is basically, for those who don't know, my lips are not syncing up correctly with the audio. It's okay if it's off a fraction of a second, but if it's off like and much more than that, I gotta look into buying some other equipment. Jessica Martinez, hola, nice for you to be here. So, like I said, I'm making a video of it. I already made part of the video, is where I cut up the meat, prep it, season it, and now it's in the fridge for 12, 15 hours. And again, I'm going to be smoking a pork roast and making some pulled pork sandwiches tomorrow. Go to the store, get some really good, not that generic crap that falls apart as soon as you touch it, but some good hamburger buns. And I love coleslaw, so you put coleslaw on pulled pork sandwiches. A lot of people do that in the South. But I have to tell you, man, I don't like their chicken, but I love their freaking coleslaw. Kentucky Fried Chicken has an amazing coleslaw. Love it. Especially if you can get it really cold. Love it, man. So I'm going to do that up for dinner. Again, I'm making the full video on how to do it. All the temperatures, all the timing, and that sort of thing for everybody so they can follow it. I like doing the cooking videos. Haven't done it in a while. So we're going to talk about pretty much anything you want to talk about. But I did want to share some information from the Gateway Pundit. And I'm just reading the article, just the main headline. So basically in Michigan, we have a hero sheriff, a decorated sheriff, who's already proven his ethics and his worthiness throughout his career. Breaking, hero sheriff, his name is Dar Leaf, sues lawless Michigan AG, the AG attorney, Nessel, that's the name, for dishonesty. Dishonest Michigan son of, I don't want to say the word, Benson, for interfering and obstructing and covering up crimes in election fraud investigations, including voter machines, ballot harvesting, and trafficking. So they're finding voter fraud, and you have the Attorney General basically stopping and interfering with the election investigation. You would figure everybody would want to know that it was an honest election. Let them go investigate. They're just going to prove that we were right. We didn't do anything wrong. But when you interfere, that means you're trying to prevent something other than the story that you laid out to the American public, and that was no voter fraud. So voting, I never liked voting machines, and I'll tell you why. I'm a computer guy. I can pretty much build and program a computer with my eyes closed. A lot of people don't know that about me. I used to do data recovery from hard drives, bad hard drives. So I know a little bit about computers. So a voting machine is that. It is a computer designed to count votes. You can program any computer to count one vote for every 100 votes that it receives. Or you can do the opposite. You can program a computer to count 100 votes for every one vote it receives. And it can recognize all kinds of text. It knows who you're voting for and everything. And it can pretty much skew the numbers. I never liked voting machines. I always liked the CHADs. The CHADs were the little punch-out things that we had for many years. All the way until your parents were kids. Never had a problem with that. Never had a problem with that until one election year. All of a sudden, everybody had a problem with it. All of a sudden, out of the blue. Out of many years, all of a sudden, out of the blue. Oh, is it between Gore and Bush? The presidency, the election between Gore and Bush? Somebody can research that. I'm pretty certain that's correct. And I think it was a scam to get us off that paper system and onto a digital system. They scared us into thinking that our integrity of the voting, the CHADs and the ballots and the paper ballots, for your safety, we need to get off of this. Don't be fooled. So I'm going to read this again. Breaking news. Hero Sheriff Dar Leaf sues lawless Michigan AG Attorney General, Nessel is his name, for dishonesty, for interfering, obstruction, and covering up crimes in election fraud investigations, to include machine voting, ballot harvesting, and trafficking. That's just the headline. So I just want to let you know that. In other breaking news, and we're going to talk about other things. We'll talk about some silver and some cryptos. Thanks to our weak leadership, North Korea has the courage to fire 8 ballistic missiles towards the EC for testing purposes. Let's see. Teen who mowed down her own mother and infant sentenced to a juvenile probation camp, thanks to Marxist Los Angeles DA, District Attorney George Gaston. Kids, man, mowing over their parents, killing their parents and infant children. It's like a video game to them. They think once they kill their target that it reanimates somewhere else and then it comes back into the game. I don't know what's going on with people nowadays. Mexican cartels are handing out wristbands. They are organizing the invasion. That's another headline. About finished with the headlines. It's pretty depressing. But one bit of good news I'd like to say, read you. Kyle Rittenhouse, the guy that went to the protest and had to defend his life during the protest, the big loss, he was basically brought to court and whatnot, got off. Kyle Rittenhouse to I can't even speak. I should have brought some water. Potentially sue Facebook's Zuckerberg and at least 10 other prominent figures and companies. I hope Kyle Rittenhouse sues them all. Sues them all. All right, well, enough of the negative news. Silver, let's talk a little bit about silver. I know the markets have closed down since Friday. What was it? 4 Eastern time? 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern time. At the time of closure, markets did fall to the $22, even $22 for the ask price, $21.90 for the bid price. So I'm starting to see a little trend on our silver going down a little bit. I expected it. It's nothing that anybody should freak out about. If anything, should be good news. Everybody in this room is probably young enough not to really need to sell off their silver yet. What I mean by that is normally we sell off our assets during a retirement phase of life, or in that phase of life, to where we can live off of. Right now we're all young, right? And we're all trying to get more for those years, or maybe not even for retirement, maybe for just emergency purposes. We're just trying to acquire more. I would love silver to crash while we're trying to get more. Why do you want to see $30 silver when you're trying to buy more? And that goes for gold and cryptos. And even if you're playing with the stock markets, your 401k plans, everybody at work is always griping about their 401k plan. Oh, it went down another 15%. It went down another 15%. Good. And these people are not anywhere near their retirement years for them to be concerned about. They should be rejoicing, because every time there is a withdrawal from their paycheck to go into their 401k, they're getting actually more stocks for that money now because of the price crashing. The 401k stocks, that's what they are. 401ks, the companies invest in various stocks and money markets and whatnot. It's a good thing that they're crashing, and we're buying them at a lower price. So if you go to work and people are bitching about their 401ks and they're only like 30 or 40 years old, just laugh at them. They just don't even know what they're freaking talking about. So that's enough of that. We'll talk one thing more, and then I'll start talking to you. I'll start answering questions. And I go to coinmarket.cap. There is a trend, an upward trend in cryptos for the last 2 or 3 days. Nothing significant. I'm just seeing small percentages. For example, the last 24 hours were up 0.86%. Very minute, not even hitting 1%, but still something positive. Okay, in the 7-day span, we had an upward trend of 3.14%. That's 7 days though, so even that is not a lot. Still an upward trend. Bitcoin right now is $29,700. We'll just round it. It's actually $29,780, but who's counting? XRP is 39 cents. I'm hoping that XRP crashes. I would love to buy some more XRP. And I'll check one more. Excuse me. Theta, man, $1.19. I would love to see Theta go under $1. I would make some moves. I'd probably do a withdrawal, or no, I would probably do a loan because I don't get penalized. I'd probably do a loan off my 401k and invest it in the Theta and XRP. Pay back the 401k, they're just small additional deductions from my paycheck. I don't get penalized. That interest is actually being paid towards me. Remember, when you take out a 401k loan, you're taking the loan out against yourself, and you're paying interest, not to a bank, but onto yourself. So it's a great thing to do. If you need some extra money for silver, I've done this in the past. Cryptos, you take out you're just moving it from one market to another. You got a lot of investors who do that. They'll take it from one market and throw it into another market, and then when the markets swing up and trend upwards or downwards, they maneuver and they do it all in reverse. So if you ever need extra money, taking out a 401k loan is a beautiful thing, and that goes also for paying off debt. Hypothetically, you have a credit card that's, we'll just say 15.9% interest rate. It can be 10% interest rate. It's irrelevant. But you gotta take care of that credit card. You take out a 401k loan. You pay off that credit card. That's 10, 15, 20% interest rate. And you pay back yourself. You know what the interest rate on a 401k loan is? It's about 2%. But that interest is actually going back towards you. It doesn't go to the lender. You are the lender in a 401k loan. You are the lender. It goes to you. So just remember that when needing to pay off some significant debt. I've done it in the past. It works out beautifully. All right, let's take a look at some other stuff here. Okie dokie, the world's coming to an end. Gotta love it. All right, put on my old man glasses. All right, where are we? I want to thank everybody for being here on a Saturday. Really appreciate your time. MK Ultra, thanks a lot. Appreciate your time. Gas was 507 on Monday. Friday, it's 519. So the same here. I got the same report here. So I put unleaded gas in my car. I don't need to put premium. I drive a Subaru Outback. And I'll be getting rid of that shortly, so I'm not giving out any personal information that's going to come back and bite me. I'll be getting rid of that car very, very shortly. But anyhow, it takes regular unleaded. It was at this gas station right here, $4.44. The next day, didn't go up a penny or two. The next day, it went all the way up to $4.60. So I drive into town thinking, all right, I can get it a little cheaper. No, all of them up that much. So it's crazy, and that's regular. Premium, most of you folks I know drive vehicles that are require regular. It's over $5. Depending on your state, it could be $6. I know California, some of the regions in California, it's already up to 10. Can you imagine that? The Silver Cooters, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Never seen your name before. Welcome to the channel. Larry Summers, appreciate it. Lab 4. Anyone else pick up these low 1700s for Ethereum on Friday? I bought last Friday at 1725 and sold for 2000 Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, so yeah, Cooters. I'm just gonna call you Cooters. Yeah, I'm doing the smoke. I'm smoking a pork roast. Normally I do a pork butt, but Costco had this freaking huge package, and it's in the video. I put it in the video. I had this huge freaking package for like $22-ish, $25. I don't recall the price, but there's enough for 3 freaking huge pulled pork roast. I mean, pulled pork barbecues. So, I mean, each of the 3 pieces are that thick and that wide. It's in the video. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, brioche. I might try to get some brioche buns. They're good. Prices at grocery store in Tennessee going through the roof. Yo, Brandon. Oh, Lord, help us all. I'm serious. And you still got people that are, it's not his fault. No, it's not his fault. This is leftovers from Trump era. This is the problems we had from Trump. Bob, thank you so much. Yeah, coleslaw on a plate with beans, baked beans. Never had that. Well, I guess I have. South Florida DCL, good evening. Thank you so much from South Florida. I wish I could come out there, get on a freaking boat, go into the freaking Tampa Bay area and just fish my ass off. I would love to do that someday. Just leave all my problems behind. Jessica Martinez, it's all programming. You are so correct, Jessica. Thank you again for being here. You're another new name I haven't recognized, haven't seen before. Appreciate it. Sling and Silver, bet Biden's our last president. I wouldn't bet that, but anything is possible, right? What they're trying to do to us. Just imagine this. What we see now is just what is happening to us now is still while we have a constitution. You realize that? We have a constitution and there's things protecting us. Can you imagine what their intentions are if they can get rid of the constitution and get rid of your modern day sword, the gun? This is just a sample. And this goes against every promise he made during his campaign. It goes against every promise he made while he was debating Trump. It goes against everything he promised us. We were warned this would happen. And on that debate screen, old man Biden just kind of did that shit grinning. Come on, man. Don't believe this. Don't believe this hogwash stuff. Whatever. Just this is just a sample. Once they get your guns, they won't fear you. They want your guns because they know that you will come to realize the evil that they have done to you. People are slowly starting to wake up. And that day comes, they don't want you to have a weapon. And I've always said this, slavery never ended. It was perfected. We're all slaves. And that's what they would like us to do, become a slave and shut up, go to work, and pay our taxes. And it just brings me to my next point. Now we got this SAR or whatever, this department, the combat misinformation, fake news, or whatever you want to call it. And they're the ones who are going to deem what fake news is, misinformation. And what is it? It is anything that does not agree with what they are trying to make you believe. That will be fake news. And that statement I just said has already been proven. It's been proven throughout the entire campaign. A lot of people didn't believe it, but now people can see. Anything that goes against what they would like you to believe will be considered fake news, misinformation, dangerous to society. So dangerous. You might even be arrested, put in education camps. It's happened to every damn country that's disarmed their citizens. Aldi has great brioche buns. I don't know where Aldi is. Is that a grocery store? Is that a name brand of the brioche buns? All we have is Sprouts out here. We have some Fry's. We have some Safeways. We have Walmarts. No, I have not watched. By the way, thank you, Joey, for being here. I have not watched What is a Woman. I've got a feeling it's going to cover and talk about the transgender movement, but no, I have not watched it. I think it's going to take, and I say this to be funny, I think it's going to take more than one show to tell me what a woman is. They're very complicated. Corey Willett. Got the old faithful back in the scene. Good to see you back. Thank you. Corey Willett, thank you so much for being here. Planted blueberries and grapes today. Okay. LGBTQ. Let's get Biden to quit. Yeah, I also made a video on my grapevines. So go check that out, Corey. I kid you not. One grapevine, and I have more grapes than I think an entire family can eat. They're green grapes. They're the green seedless grapes that you see in the stores, and they're sweet like candy. So, and I don't even know how to freaking prune or do anything to a grapevine. And I heard that, it's pretty technical. You got to freaking do stuff with the vines and cut them and string them up, and I don't do any of that shit. Amazing. So check out that video, and now the grapes are even bigger since that video. So yes, I got the gun out again. I got it back in the scene. I was missing it. I was missing it. Part of the background, I guess. Matthew, China's going to call Brandon's bluff, and America will be humiliated. I think sometimes when bad things happen, it's not necessarily bad. What I mean is, I think bad things need to happen to people in order to wake them up. Now, most of us in this room are woken up. We know what's going on. We're aware. But to all those people in California that constantly vote right down the party aisle, now they're paying $10 a gallon for gas. They got to be waking up by now. They got to be like, oops. Ryan James, Marlarkey. That's right. That's Marlarkey. I'm not going to open up the border. It's Trump trying to cause fear and scare you all. Saw them brother, was jealous. I don't know what oh yeah. You're talking about the grapes. Okay. Yeah, they're good. And like I said, the grapes are now bigger. They doubled in size. And what I do is I don't trim any of that. I let the big grape leaves just freaking hang over them and protect the fruit. I'll do another video of me getting those grapes out. I don't know of anything else you can do with green grapes. I don't think they would make a good, like Welch's grape jelly kind of thing. Concord grapes, for example. Concord grapes are known for jams and jellies. I don't think, to the best of my knowledge, green grapes would be that good. And besides, I don't know how to do it. There's all that skin involved, grape skins and whatnot. I'm just going to have to freaking eat a ton of grapes, that's all. I wish I knew how to make raisins. That would be cool. I'm going to have to research that. Maybe I could do some raisins. Esoteric, thank you so much for being here. Yes, we're all the good kind of woke. Liberals never wake up. Well, hopefully they will. And I believe a lot are. A lot of liberals have actually started voting conservative. I'm not really worried about Putin's threat. Again, I think people need to be woken up. And if that means a missile landing on their property or something, so be it. You know what I mean? I really don't care anymore. I want to see it come to a conclusion, whether it's good or bad. I've come to the point where I just don't feel sorry for people anymore. They've made their bed. You know what I mean? I want to see the best for people, but for the people who are just too stupid, I think government's been protecting them for too long. There's this saying, only the strong should survive. I forgot the guy who said it. And the problem is, the stupid seem to be thriving better than we are. So maybe it's time, that something bad happens to them. They smarten up or something. That's all I'm saying. I should use a dehydrator to make raisins. I will research that. I have a dehydrator. But I'll tell you what, it'll take forever for a dehydrator. A home one of home quality. And I have a darn good one. But even that, you would need to use some kind of convectional, you needed some kind of big freaking monster of a dehydrator. My liberal friends are still out of touch, complaining about high food prices and how they can't buy a high dollar apples anymore. You should ask them how were the prices of apples when our last president was in office. Make them think. Make them do comparisons, Jericho, in their mind. Just play with them. But come across as though you're not playing with them. You know what I mean? That way they still stay your friends if you... It's always good to have stupid people around. Makes you feel smart. You know, I'm just being an idiot right now. I really don't really care anymore, what happens to some people who've been part of ruining this country, who have no problems with continuing down this path. And they're useful idiots. And one day, maybe when they see a lineup of people in the streets being shot by the same authorities that claim to want to protect us, maybe then they'll wake up, just like in the good old Nazi days. Yeah, so what they do is they go and invest in a particular field. I believe they're all highly invested in solar, man-made power. And I believe now they want us to all invest and buy those products so their stocks can go up. That's what I fully believe. I don't really believe they think it or even care that it's going to help the environment. I don't believe that. They go and invest in something. They'll go and invest in a pile of shit. And next day, the entire news corporation and every freaking activist is telling us, well, we need to stop eating beef, chicken, and fish and eat piles of shit. That's pretty much what goes on, in my opinion. You can't tell me they're not invested in it. They got stocks and they're picking the winners and losers. I was going to say something. I lost my train of thought. Can you tell people to be prepped, but they don't, and that's on them, and you can laugh? Yeah, South Florida. You remember when I used to show off my pantries? I had like 2 in my house and a 3rd pantry in my 2nd house. I still have all that food. I go through it, and I don't talk about it much anymore, but I still add to that stockpile of food. When I go out, I shop at Costco because it's the cheapest prices I can find. Yes, I have to put out more money, but I went out and I bought a standalone freezer that's packed with meats and chicken and God knows whatever else is. I think there's even a freaking turkey on the bottom of it. But I'm constantly putting food away, and I don't tell people about it. And I always tell others, hey, maybe you should put a little food. But you come across when you tell somebody, hey, maybe you shouldn't buy another $1,300 iPhone. Maybe you should go and buy some silver or some food or something. And they look at you like you're the sicko, the wacko. $1,300 cell phone, not including the monthly bill. I just did a Biden, not including the monthly bill. So I stopped talking to people anymore about it. I stopped encouraging people to do the right thing anymore. Because the right thing now is the world is upside down. And the right thing now is everything's stupid. And if you try to convince somebody, hey, they're going down the wrong path, they actually believe you're the one that's crazy. So I don't do it anymore. And these people, I stopped talking about it. They don't know to come to my house when they go hungry. They don't. And I'll tell you, if they came knocking on my door, I'd open up the door, tell them to get the hell away. And I'll tell you why you don't hand out. Because once you hand out somebody one time, whatever you gave them this much, or whatever it is, this much or this much. They'll go through it. Where did they get their last meal from, or their last whatever from? They know where you live, and they'll knock on that door. Hey, I know I said that was my last time, but my kids are hungry now, and we're all out. It's too late. You done. They know where to come now. And when you say no, then they'll go and get others to help them burn you out of your fucking home, or kick down all the doors and windows simultaneously and come and take your shit. So you better think twice when you say you're going to help everybody that comes to your front door. Because if you help them once, you're going to have to help them again and again and again. And pretty soon you'll have nothing left for your own family and children. That's just the nature of the beast for helping. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah, I can make another prepping video. Yeah, I would love to get some Mylar bags and show you how to store everything in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. And it pretty much makes most food items, rice, beans, lentil, legumes, pastas, even down to raisin sugars, flour, makes everything last like 25, 30 years, just by putting in Mylar, sucking the oxygen out, putting an oxygen absorber in the bag and storing it like that in a 5-gallon bucket on top of that. So what I'll do is I'll put my food item, whatever, like for example, rice. And the beauty of it is you need to go and buy a big bag of rice, like a 25, 35 pounder. The beauty of that is it's a fraction of the price of a bag of rice this big that you buy at Safeway or Fry's. By the time you factor out the weight and the cost per weight, it's a fraction. So, you put it in Mylar, and it's good for 25 years. I got 300 pounds of wheat berries back here. 300 pounds. Just imagine this. 5 pounds of flour comes from wheat berries. It's just grinded wheat berries. 5 pounds will make something like 7, 8 nice sized loaves of bread. That just gives you an idea how much food I have. And that's just the wheat berries. I've got tons of flour. Flour also. I got legumes. I got lentils. I got pinto beans. I got rices. A couple of variations of rices. You name it. Black beans, white beans, navy beans. I got it all. I know it. It might be time for an updated video, but that means I got to go out and buy more stuff to show you how to do it. Who else is here? Anyway, I've been going on for how long? How long have I been yakking away? This thing used to tell me the time, but everything's changed now. I was going to ask everybody for a favor. I don't normally ask people for favors, but if you can give this video a like, a thumbs up, I really would appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to take off. It's Saturday. I'll probably do a live. I've been going on. There it is. 39, going on 40 minutes. I'll finish up the video for the smoking because I want to show you the entire process of smoking this pork roast, down to shredding up the meat, down to adding the barbecue sauce to the meat, down to constructing the sandwich. I'm going to film it all. I'm going to fill it all in 4K, high resolution, and you'll see the entire smoking process in increments. I'll show you inside the smoker, and then through the magic of photo editing, you'll see again inside the smoker half an hour later or an hour later. You'll see the bark starting to form on the meat and whatnot, and you'll see me tasting the sandwich just like I did the pizza. So I made a pizza video. I want to do another pizza video where I make the dough, everything from scratch. Everything. I don't play. I don't play like that. I don't go out and buy a freaking. I see some of these pizza videos, and the bulk of them are excellent, far beyond the quality of my videos. But there's a few I've accidentally watched where they bragged about their pizza and they've gone and bought dough and they opened up their wrapper and they pull out the ready dough. It's like, no, I make my own dough. I proof my own dough and everything. Roll out the dough and make the pies. So I might do another one. Anyway, I gotta run, man. Anybody else stop by while I was yakking away? And the pork, how you spray orange juice on it. So yeah, so I'll sometimes spray orange juice on it, but I opened up a can, or I should say a jar of maraschino cherries. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm actually going to use all the juice up because I don't eat maraschino cherries. It just happened to be on my stock shelf. I opened it up, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to spray it with cherry juice instead of the orange juice. So for those people who are confused right now, when you're doing long-term smokes of meats or whatnot, you occasionally open up your smoker and you mist it with a sweet juice. That helps, 1, to moisturize the meat, 2, to create a bark, because that sugar caramelizes and crusts up, and multiple layers of juice form a crust. So that's what I'm going to do, and so I'm going to use the cherry juice. I think that's a good idea. A lot of people, I've never seen anybody do that, and I want to do it. Anyway, folks, I got to run. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.